Good morning, stirring my coffee with chopsticks using the vortex method. The best way to optimize the taste of the coffee. Hold on one second. Yeah, nice. This is the one from New Guinea. My first sip of it. It's nice. Well, let's just dive right into some things today. I'm sitting in the cozy nook, and I say the cozy nook. Some of you understand the reference, some don't. It's from the poem from Muncie magazine from, I believe, 1919. And the poem starts out by saying, a pipe, a book, a cozy nook. And this is like a little bump out area in my kitchen where I'll sit here and have a cup of coffee and have breakfast. And I like calling it the cozy nook. So let's dive into this now. Those great pics of her that you texted her, she's going to use to advertise herself to Boyfriend 2.0. If you are dating in the dating world, and you're out there looking for somebody, and you're on the various dating websites and apps and so forth, 90% of the pictures that you see of the women were taken by former boyfriends. Who do you think is taking the picture of her sitting on the bed in a hotel room? Like, are you really naive enough to believe that she carried a tripod with her and set up a camera and took all those pictures? Every time you take a picture of your girl and text it to her, it will be used. She will use it to advertise herself to the next boyfriend. Don't kid yourself. They used to, like, crop out part of the boyfriend, but leave part of the face in, just to show that he's a little bit handsome. A little, what would you call that? Virtue or value signaling. See, I can get good-looking men. Be aware of that. Don't cop an attitude about it. Just be aware of it. That's all. If I was out there and I met a woman named Jenny and her number was 867-5309, I swear I would drop everything and go buy a Powerball ticket. You regret the things that you didn't do. Example, you'll never get home after being out and say, damn, I should have asked that girl out. I shouldn't have asked that girl out. It'll be more like I should have asked that girl out, or at least introduced myself. Live without regrets, folks. I have sons, and I have a daughter. They really don't want to hear much of what I have to say. I think they want to see me do it more than they want to hear me say it. So there's this trend in the Twitter community, tell your son this. I kind of reject that because it sounds sanctimonious, I think. Just my opinion. And I'd rather say, show your son this, because your actions mean more than your fake-ass masculine memes. Zip it and do. Here's a rule for you that have had rough breakups. No more pining over people. It's the absolute lowest and worst use of your energy and emotions. Look up the definition of pining. Understand how, when, and why you do it. And then eliminate it. Decisiveness is a superpower. I like collecting people, like with hobbies when they say collect the whole set. My arsenal is filled with all kinds of people, even people I don't agree with or people that don't agree with me. How boring would life be if everybody was exactly the same as you? It's like having a spice cabinet with different flavors. That's the beauty of life. I need to scroll past a few more items. I might have said this to you before. You can unplug from church without unplugging from God. One guy said, "When did you leave the faith, or why?" I never did. I left churchianity, but I didn't leave Christianity, if that makes any sense. My ex-wife used to say, "Men are so easy." Well, blue pill beta males are easy. That is true. Once a man finds and applies the red pill lens, he literally puts on the red pill, he sees life different, sees it for what it is. Then all of a sudden, he's not so easy. And no wonder it angers so many women when men wake up. Even the modern beta male gets mad at masculine men. Pussy no longer has power over you. You have power over you. Power to do a lot of good. Money has to go into the bank faster than it goes out. Multiple sources of bills require multiple sources of income. Getting paid every other week sucks when bills come in every day. So have I convinced you to have multiple sources of income yet? I like to say every tweet after 10 p.m. is under the influence of alcohol and weed. Oh my God, how do I get rid of this spider? Just tell it you want a serious relationship and you'll never see it again. I asked men, would you want a girl who has had as many sexual experiences as you? 14% said yes. 63% said no, and 23% said it depends, which means no. If you suspect that she is, then she is. I was at a battle of the bands last week. I have some friends in a band, a couple thousand people there, an outdoor venue, a large patio. And I was in the top 5%, top 0.5%, literally 1/2% of the men as far as grooming, physique, and attire. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, I just rolled out of the sack. So I don't look like top 0.5% right now. I don't do hair and makeup and everything before I go on camera. I make my coffee and press record. So 99% of the crowd was drunk, gnarly, unattractive, bad haircuts, overweight, and sloppy. Which tells you one thing: it's easy to be a king today. So claim your throne, gentlemen. As soon as they realize you're onto them, they're gone. Poof. And you shake the dust off your feet and move on. If shit ever hits the fan, look for the guy with the paracord bracelet. That's the dude that you want to be around. Read between the lines. If she's a shitty girlfriend, she'll be a shitty wife. The things that bother you now, multiply that times 5 bazillion. if you marry her. I'm repeating myself when I say this. I sucked at woodworking until I learned how to do it. Now I can build anything. I sucked at living until I learned how to do it. Now I live like a boss. Thank you for your videos and many of your Twitter posts recently. This is a letter from a viewer. I just watched your hitchhiking video. And your Twitter posts have felt like they've been directed at me this week. It just recently happened to me. A nearly 7-year marriage and 2 incredible kids that are only fucking 4 and 5 years old and have no idea what the fuck is about to happen to them. I was out of town working when I found out. I came home and asked if we could work it out. Somehow I was thinking I could get over what happened. I'm sure I have some responsibility in us growing apart, but I really felt like I was completely devoted to our marriage before this. I asked for a month. I just kept thinking about the kids and that I could deal with it so their parents could both be there with them. I lost my dad when I was 10. She grew up with divorced parents. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, and I guess she thought I was going to act like we were newly dating again or something. And then she told me she just had the divorce papers drawn up. I happened to find Rollo Tomasi. He's a friend of mine. I will put a link for his book down below. His book is called The Rational Male. Every man needs to read it. Please get it. Please get it. And the red pill idea is almost the same week when I found out that my wife wanted to leave. And I just kept thinking back to all the things I see now that were signs. All the girls' nights out. When we go out together, she was always focused more on making new friends than doing things as a couple. I don't know why I'm writing this. I feel like my life has just been completely blown up and I've got nothing to hold on to. I don't even know where to go or where to start. Thank you for letting me vent. A man's life got saved that day when I started replying to him. Dudes, get your teeth and dental and oral hygiene game up. Your teeth don't have to be perfectly straight, but number one, they need to be there. And number two, they need to be clean, white, and smiling. And your breath should smell only like one thing at the end of the night. Poor oral hygiene is a top deal breaker. The one who loves the least has the most power. You've heard me say this before. It's called the law of least love. If you feel her drifting from you, she's not just thinking about it, gentlemen. She's already been with someone else. Women don't leave men and go to nothing, so don't waste one more minute. Observation. Black dudes are riding Harleys more now than sport bikes. I went to a local bike night and there was a nice diverse crowd of black, white, Asian, young, old, veterans, bikers, police, civilians, men and women. Motorcycles are bringing everybody together. We fogged up the windows in my old Chevy. I was willing, but she wasn't ready. So I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. I dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. From the song Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson, 1992. Women are not looking to settle down, they're looking to settle you down. Because you're one mouse click or swipe away from being replaced, you must be a G. You are the one who knocks. Either learn that or learn to enjoy that roller coaster ride and manage crazy every 2 years for the rest of your life. Revenue is the aspirin you take every night to make you feel good in the morning. The common denominator amongst all failures is excuses. Owls are nocturnal animals. They do everything when many in the animal kingdom are sleeping. That's the reason why Russell Conwell started the Baptist Temple Night School, now called Temple University. It was originally for the day laborer who wanted to educate and better themselves at night. Now it's your turn to do it. On Instagram, I can already tell which couples will be divorced, and I've gotten really good at it. I feel like I need to start a divorce pool and start wagering and making some money on it. The more pictures you see of a couple, the more likely the marriage is in trouble. I saw the devil sitting on a curb crying, and I asked him, "What's wrong?" He said, "Everybody blames me for everything." There's many things that put your money and your wealth at risk. One of those things is to partner with an emotionally driven human being or work for one. Intellect will always be subservient to emotion. What could possibly go wrong? A more effective way of excuse me, live camera sneeze. A more effective way of interacting with a woman is to understand her and not love her, if that makes any sense. Understand the woman in your life, and you'll get along better. So Stevie Wonder has to take back one of his songs and rewrite it to say, "I just called to say, I understand you." If you're dating around, you're not going to have mind-blowing sex all the time. Even if you're a double or triple digit guy, there will be just a handful that are super memorable and will have raised the bar for you. That one that you had incredible sex with is going to be the one that you compare all others to. That's the good news and the bad news. What do you call a person with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a PhD in film and gender studies? Barista. Women do a lot of this mini-me and my twin with their kids if they have a child that looks like them. My best buddy, my best friend, with their children as if they're celebrating a child that looks like them. There's something a little psychologically off there, and I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. So she tells him she must go out for the evening to comfort an old friend who's feeling down. In other words, a girl's night out. If you marry a woman much younger than you, let's say 15 years or more younger, she is going to leave you. 9 out of 10 times, she is going to leave you. Read my lips. She will leave you. because late at night, that big old house gets lonely. The whippings will continue until the morale improves around here. I have counseled pastors whose marriages have ended. Pastors of churches. Good guys. Men's retreats, Bible studies, men's breakfasts, the whole shebang. And those guys are the most clueless when she splits. And they're surprised at her dancing, partying, the new clothing, the new makeup. And last but not least, fall in understanding with a woman. Not fall in love. Fall in understanding. And life will not be a roller coaster. You'll have zero ups and downs relationship-wise. When I see love in a man's eyes, that's a prophecy of doom. I can see the understanding in his eyes is the new definition of a couple's health. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.